Welcome back to the channel. Listen closely, collectors, treasure hunters, and anyone who has ever wondered if a tiny coin could hide a fortune, because what you are about to explore is not a story, it's a journey into the secret life of a 1967 one-cent penny, a coin so unassuming that millions of Americans have passed by it in jars, drawers, and wallets for decades, oblivious to the fact that it could be worth an eye-popping $43 million. Yes, $43 million for a piece of copper that most people think is just ordinary change. And the reason this penny is so extraordinarily valuable lies in the rare, almost mystical mistakes, anomalies, and subtle imperfections that occurred during its creation at the United States Mint in 1967, a year when the hurried machinery, human oversight, and minor mechanical quirks accidentally produced coins that would later become legends in the numismatic world. And the adventure begins with the invisible double die, a phenomenon so delicate that Lincoln's profile, his eye, the intricate lines of his coat, and even the date itself appear doubled in ghost-like shadows, a feature almost imperceptible to the untrained eye but screaming rarity to collectors and grading experts alike. And then there are off-center strikes, where Lincoln's face appears to teeter on the edge, the wheat reverse partially missing, creating a visual tension that is both unsettling and captivating. Coins that seem alive in their imperfection, while others were struck on wrong planchets, slightly different in alloy, weight, and thickness, producing subtle variations that no one could ever replicate, each anomaly creating a story frozen in copper, and some pennies acquired accidental proof-like surfaces, mirror-shiny, catching the light in ways that make them seem almost surreal, as if they are not coins but portals into history, reflecting decades of hidden human error and mechanical misadventure. And some feature doubled mint marks, DS or PS, appearing slightly offset, instantly elevating them into rare artifacts that could command millions. But the true excitement emerges when coins combine multiple errors, doubled die, off-center strike, repunched date, clipped planchet, faint die cracks all on a single coin, creating an object so rare that only a handful exist worldwide, coins that could vanish forever if overlooked. And this scarcity is what fuels mind-blowing auction wars, competitive bidding spiraling into tens of millions. Because in numismatics, rarity plus perfection plus provenance equals ultimate treasure, and you need to understand that these coins are still out there, waiting for someone with patience, knowledge, and a trained eye to discover them. And imagine the adrenaline rush, the pulse-quickening thrill, when you spot a ghosted double die, a faint repunched date, a subtle off-center strike, realizing instantly that you are holding a coin more valuable than most people's life savings, and every microscopic detail matters, from the slightest doubling to faint die cracks, rotational misalignments, proof-like mirror surfaces, clipped edges, and repunched dates, each adding a layer of rarity and immeasurable value. And when authenticated and graded professionally in mint state MS65 or higher, these coins become almost untouchable treasures, commanding life-altering prices at auction. And the psychological thrill cannot be overstated, because holding one is not just holding metal, it is holding history, human error, mechanical imperfection, and fortune all intertwined. And multi-error possibilities make this hunt addictive, because each coin could combine doubled dies, off-center strikes, rotated dies, clipped planchets, proof-like surfaces, repunched dates, and faint die cracks in configurations that will never repeat, creating living legends, each telling a story of the minting process, human oversight, and the hidden possibilities of what seems ordinary. And auction stories illustrate collectors spending millions for verified coins, bidding with fervor, fully aware that missing one could mean losing a once-in-a-lifetime fortune. And every jar of pennies, every old collection, every forgotten roll could conceal the next $43 million discovery, transforming a routine hobby into a life-changing adventure. And as you continue through this video, you will learn to detect ghosted doubling, faint die cracks, off-center strikes, proof-like mirror surfaces, clipped edges, rotated dies, and repunched dates, all microscopic anomalies turning an ordinary penny into a legendary treasure. And by the end of this video, your perspective will completely shift. You will never see pennies the same way again, and you will understand that the 1967 1-cent coin is more than currency. It is a riddle, a legend, a mystery, and a potential fortune waiting for the right observer, with the right patience and curiosity to finally reveal it, and the suspense, thrill, and financial potential of discovering such coins is unlike anything else, because in the world of 1967 pennies, even the tiniest anomaly, the slightest imperfection, or subtle human error can create millions, a secret hidden for decades, waiting for someone attentive enough to notice it. And every moment of this video is designed to sharpen your eye, ignite your curiosity, and guide you through the secrets behind the multi-million-dollar 1967 penny. So stay glued, visualize every error, hold your breath for every micro detail, and prepare to uncover how ordinary change transforms into extraordinary treasure. Human mistakes become hidden fortune, and every single penny tells a story that could become a legend in your hands. Next, 1971 1-cent penny. Brace yourself, coin enthusiasts, collectors, and treasure hunters, because what you are about to uncover is not just a coin, it is a legend hidden in plain sight for decades. A 1971 1-cent coin that seems ordinary to the untrained eye but could be worth an astonishing $40 million, yes. $40 million for a penny that millions of Americans have overlooked in jars, drawers, rolls, and wallets, and the reason for this mind-boggling value is embedded in the subtle mistakes, anomalies, and rare mechanical imperfections that occurred during its minting at the Denver Mint in 1971, mistakes so rare that they transformed ordinary circulation pennies into objects of almost mythical rarity. And it begins with the double die phenomenon, a ghost-like doubling on Lincoln's profile, his eye, the intricate lines of his coat, and even the date. So subtle that most collectors miss it entirely, yet to trained eyes it is an immediate beacon of extreme value. And then consider the off-center strikes, where Lincoln's face appears precariously perched on the edge, leaving portions of the wheat reverse missing, a misalignment that turns a standard penny into a visual marvel of rarity, while others were struck on planchets intended for different denominations or slightly different alloys, producing imperceptible variations in weight, thickness, and color tone, each imperfection creating a narrative of accidental fortune frozen in copper. And some pennies even acquired accidental proof-like surfaces, mirror-like finishes reflecting light in mesmerizing ways, razor-sharp details appearing where none should exist, and the D-mint mark itself, sometimes doubled or slightly offset, elevates the coin into multi-million-dollar territory. But the real treasure emerges when multiple errors coexist on a single coin, where double die, off-center strike, repunched date, clipped planchet, and even faint die cracks converge into one, making that single penny almost one of a kind in the world. And the scarcity is what drives mind-blowing auction battles, with collectors paying tens of millions, fiercely competing because in numismatics, rarity plus perfection plus provenance equals ultimate fortune. And imagine the thrill, the pulse-quickening excitement, when you spot a subtle double die or an almost invisible off-center strike, realizing that this ordinary-looking 1971 penny could instantly become more valuable than most people's entire savings. And every micro detail matters, from ghosted doubling to faint die cracks, rotational misalignments, proof-like mirror surfaces, clipped edges, repunched dates, and multi-error possibilities, each adding extraordinary rarity and value. And when authenticated and graded in mint state MS65 or higher, these coins become untouchable treasures, commanding life-altering prices at auction. While the psychological thrill of discovery cannot be overstated, because holding one of these coins is holding history, human error, mechanical imperfection, and fortune intertwined, and the multi-error possibilities make this hunt addictive, because each coin could combine double dies, off-center strikes, rotated dies, clipped planchets, proof-like surfaces, repunched dates, and faint die cracks and arrangements that will never repeat, turning an ordinary penny into a legend, a mystery, and a riddle waiting to be solved, with each coin carrying the story of the minting process, the machinery, and the human touch that created these anomalies. And famous auction tales illustrate collectors paying millions, bidding with fervor, aware that missing a single coin could mean losing a once-in-a-lifetime treasure, and every roll of pennies, every jar, every forgotten drawer could conceal the next $40 million discovery, transforming a routine hobby into a life-changing adventure. And as you continue through this cinematic journey, you will learn to detect ghosted doubling, faint die cracks, subtle off-center strikes, proof-like mirror reflections, clipped edges, rotated dies, and repunched dates, all microscopic anomalies that turn an ordinary 1971 penny into an extraordinary treasure. And by the end of this epic, your perspective on coins will change completely, because a 1971 penny is not just money, it is a living riddle, a legend, a mystery, and a potential fortune waiting for someone patient, observant, and curious enough to finally unlock it. And the suspense, thrill, and financial potential of discovering such coins is unlike anything else, because in the world of 1971 pennies, even the tiniest anomaly, the slightest imperfection, or subtle human mistake can mean millions, a secret hidden for decades, waiting for you to notice it. And every moment of this video is designed to sharpen your eye, ignite your curiosity, and guide you through the secrets behind the multi-million-dollar 1971 penny. So stay glued, visualize every subtle doubling, every micro error, and every hidden treasure. Hold your breath for every minuscule detail, and prepare to uncover how ordinary change transforms into extraordinary treasure. Human mistakes become hidden fortune, and every penny tells a story that could turn into a legend in your hands. And the thrill only grows as we explore grading nuances, microscopic anomalies, auction dynamics, collector psychology, and step-by-step detection strategies, revealing how even coins once dismissed as ordinary can hold unimaginable value, and why the 1971 1-cent penny has become one of the most sought-after coins in the numismatic world. Next, 1981 cent coin. Lean in, coin collectors, treasure hunters, and anyone who has ever wondered if a tiny coin could change your life, because what you are about to witness is a journey into the secret, almost mystical world of the 1981 cent coin, a penny that looks ordinary, copper-colored, and completely unremarkable at first glance, yet could be worth an astounding $35 million. Yes, $35 million for a coin that millions of Americans have passed by in jars, drawers, wallets, and coin rolls for decades. And the secret to this mind-boggling value lies in the rare, extraordinary errors, anomalies, and subtle imperfections that occurred during its creation at the United States Mint in 1980, errors so unique that they transformed a simple penny into a legend in the numismatic world. And it all begins with the doubled die, a phenomenon so delicate that Lincoln's profile, his eye, the fine details on his coat, and even the date appear doubled in a ghost-like shadow, imperceptible to casual observers, but instantly recognizable to trained collectors and graders as a hallmark of extreme rarity. And imagine the off-center strikes, where Lincoln's profile teeters on the edge of the coin, the wheat reverse partially missing, creating a visual drama that turns an ordinary penny into a captivating anomaly, while others were struck on wrong planchets, slightly different in alloy, weight, and thickness, producing subtle variations that no one could ever replicate, each imperfection adding a layer of mystery and value frozen in copper. And some pennies even acquired accidental proof-like surfaces, mirror-like, razor-sharp details appearing in places where none should exist, reflecting light in a way that makes you question reality and wonder if the coin itself is alive. And the D-Mint mark from Denver sometimes appears doubled or slightly offset, instantly elevating the coin into multi-million-dollar territory. But the true excitement emerges when coins combine multiple errors, where double die, off-center strike, repunched date, clipped planchet, and faint die cracks converge in a single coin, creating an artifact so rare that only a handful exist worldwide, coins that could vanish forever if overlooked, and this scarcity is what drives mind-blowing auction wars, with collectors paying tens of millions, fiercely competing because in the world of numismatics, rarity plus perfection plus provenance equals ultimate treasure, and visualize the thrill, the pulse-quickening excitement when you spot a subtle double die or a nearly invisible off-center strike, realizing instantly that this 1980 penny could be worth more than most people's entire life savings, and every microscopic detail matters, from ghosted doubling to faint die cracks, rotational misalignments, proof-like mirror surfaces, clipped edges, repunched dates, and multi-error possibilities, each one enhancing rarity and value, and when authenticated and graded professionally in mint state MS65 or higher, these coins become untouchable treasures commanding life-changing prices at auction, while the psychological thrill cannot be overstated, because holding one of these coins is holding history, human error, mechanical imperfection, and fortune all intertwined, and the multi-error possibilities make this hunt addictive because each coin could combine double dies, off-center strikes, rotated dies, clipped planchets, proof-like surfaces, repunched dates, and faint die cracks in configurations that will never repeat, transforming an ordinary penny into a living legend, each coin telling a story of the minting process, human oversight, and hidden potential in what seems ordinary, and famous auction stories illustrate collectors spending millions, bidding aggressively, fully aware that missing a single coin could mean losing a once-in-a-lifetime fortune, and every roll of pennies, every jar, and every forgotten drawer could conceal the next $35 million discovery, turning a routine hobby into a life-changing adventure. And as you dive deeper into this cinematic journey, you will learn to detect ghosted doubling, faint die cracks, subtle off-center strikes, proof-like mirror reflections, clipped edges, rotated dies, and repunched dates, all microscopic anomalies that turn a mundane 1980 penny into an extraordinary treasure. And by the end of this video, your perspective on coins will be transformed forever, because a 1981 cent coin is not just money, it is a living riddle, a legend, a mystery, and a potential fortune waiting for the right observer with the right patience, knowledge, and curiosity to finally unlock it, and the suspense, thrill, and financial potential of discovering such coins is unparalleled, because even the tiniest anomaly, the slightest imperfection, or subtle human mistake can mean millions, a secret hidden for decades, waiting for you to notice it, and every second of this epic narrative is designed to sharpen your eye, ignite your curiosity, and guide you through the secrets behind the multi-million-dollar 1981 cent coin. So stay glued, visualize every subtle doubling, every micro-error, and every hidden treasure, hold your breath for every microscopic detail, and prepare to uncover how ordinary change transforms into extraordinary treasure, human mistakes become hidden fortune, and every single penny tells a story that could turn into a legend in your hands, while we explore grading secrets, microscopic anomalies, auction dynamics, collector psychology, and step-by-step detection strategies, revealing how even pennies once dismissed as ordinary can hold unimaginable value, and why the 1981 cent coin has become one of the most sought-after coins in the United States today. Now let's dive deeper into the 1981 cent penny, because the story doesn't end with just the double die, off-center strike, or repunched date. Imagine holding one of these coins in your hand, the copper warm to the touch, the details almost whispering the secrets of decades past, and as you examine it closely under the light, you begin to notice the faintest die cracks, tiny spiderweb-like lines etched across Lincoln's cheek, or the wheat reverse, each imperfection a signature of the minting process, a moment frozen in history that no machine or human could ever reproduce perfectly again, and some coins from this year even show subtle planchet lamination errors, areas where the metal slightly separated or bubbled under pressure, creating raised textures and variations that, while almost invisible, instantly signal rarity to the trained eye. And when you pair these microscopic anomalies with a slightly rotated die or a misaligned demint mark, the coin becomes a multi-error masterpiece, the kind of artifact that legends are written about in collector circles. And consider the psychological impact on a collector when they realize that a coin this small, this ordinary looking, could be worth more than their entire life savings. The thrill, the adrenaline, the pulse-quickening excitement as they compare it to auction catalogs, past sales, and professional grading notes. Knowing that every tiny detail matters. The faintest doubling of Lincoln's eye, a subtle repunched date that could easily be mistaken for normal wear, the slightest clipping of the edge that transforms it into a rarity, proof-like mirror-like surfaces that shimmer in ways that seem almost supernatural, all converging into a story that blends history, mistake, and fortune. And the more errors present, the more legendary the coin becomes, with multi-error examples commanding attention like the crown jewels of numismatics. And as you imagine this, think about the auctions where these coins change hands, competitive bidding wars erupting, collectors watching intently, phones in hand, paddles ready, knowing that missing one coin could mean losing millions, while the coin itself sits quietly, patient, almost teasing the next lucky discoverer, waiting for someone with curiosity, patience, and a sharp eye to unlock its value. And each auction has its own drama. Coins graded in mint state MS65 or higher selling for tens of millions. Provenance verified, errors confirmed, excitement rippling through the collector community, deals sealed in whispers, and speculation running wild over which coin could be the next to appear, because these 1980 pennies are still out there, buried in jars, loose rolls, forgotten drawers, even old coin collections passed down through generations, unnoticed by families who never realized the fortune hidden in plain sight. And the hunt for these coins becomes an addictive adventure. Each new find a potential life changer, the psychological thrill unmatched. As collectors begin to imagine their own names in auction catalogs, their coins commanding prices that make headlines, and the multi-error possibilities escalate the suspense, because a single coin could feature doubled dies, off-center strikes, faint repunched dates, rotated dies, proof-like surfaces, clipped planchets, die cracks, lamination errors, or even unexpected combinations of all of these, creating artifacts that are literally one of a kind in the entire world, turning a simple copper disc into a legendary story frozen in time, a treasure waiting to be uncovered. And as you follow along in this video, you'll learn to identify ghosted doubling, faint die cracks, micro-rotations, clipped edges, proof-like mirror reflections, subtle planchet lamination errors, multi-error combinations, and other microscopic anomalies that take an ordinary coin and make it extraordinary. And by the time this cinematic journey concludes, your perception of pennies, your curiosity, and your eye for detail will be forever transformed, because what seems ordinary is hiding secrets that could change a life. The 1981 cent coin is not just currency, it is history, it is mystery, it is a legend, and it is a fortune. And as you continue watching, every detail, from microscopic doubling, to edge clipping, to rotated dies, to proof-like mirrors, to subtle cracks, to planchet imperfections, is another step deeper into a world where ordinary pennies become extraordinary treasures. Mistakes become fortune, human error becomes hidden wealth, and every coin tells a story waiting for the right observer to uncover, while auction stories illustrate collectors spending millions, carefully inspecting every possible anomaly, competing for these legends, aware that missing even one coin could mean losing a fortune. And this suspense fuels curiosity, drives collectors to check every jar, every wallet, every drawer, every roll of coins, for hidden opportunities, knowing that a single lucky discovery of a 1980 D1-cent penny with the right combination of anomalies could instantly transform an ordinary person into the owner of a multi-million-dollar treasure, and the excitement, the thrill, the suspense, the psychological tension, the meticulous observation, the micro-detail focus, all combined to make this journey not just about coins, but about curiosity, human ingenuity, and the rare chance to unlock hidden fortune. And the best part is that the 1980 penny continues to surprise collectors because new finds appear occasionally, reminding everyone that even in an age of advanced grading, machine precision, and exhaustive auction records, there is still room for discovery, suspense, and life-changing fortune hidden in the ordinary, waiting for someone to see it, recognize it, and act. And that is why this coin, this year, this mint mark, and every microscopic error and imperfection it carries, has become one of the most sought-after and legendary coins in the numismatic world, a treasure, a riddle, a story, and a fortune, all waiting for you to pay attention, hold your breath, and look closer than anyone else ever has before. Next, 1982 1-cent coin. Hold your breath and prepare, collectors, treasure hunters, and anyone who has ever wondered if a tiny penny could hide a fortune, because what you are about to witness is the incredible story of a 1982 1-cent coin, a penny that at first glance looks ordinary, copper-colored, and utterly unremarkable, yet could be worth an astonishing $32 million, yes. $32 million for a coin that millions of Americans have passed by for decades, tucked away in jars, drawers, wallets, and rolls. And the reason for this staggering value lies in the rare, almost mystical errors, anomalies, and subtle imperfections that occurred during its minting at the United States Mint in 1982, mistakes so unique that they transformed a simple circulation penny into one of the most sought-after numismatic treasures in history. And it all begins with the double die, a ghost-like phenomenon where Lincoln's profile, his eye, the intricate details of his coat, and even the date appear doubled in a barely perceptible shadow, almost invisible to the untrained eye yet immediately recognized by expert collectors and graders as a hallmark of extreme rarity. And imagine the thrill of holding such a coin, examining it under the light, noticing faint die cracks, microscopic spiderweb-like lines etched across Lincoln's face, or the wheat reverse, each imperfection telling a story of the minting process and the human and mechanical touch involved, while others show subtle off-center strikes, where Lincoln's profile appears to slide towards the edge, leaving portions of the wheat reverse missing, creating a visual tension that turns a mundane penny into a compelling anomaly. And then there are planchet errors, coins struck on blanks intended for other denominations or with slightly different alloy compositions, creating minuscule variations in weight, thickness, and color that no one could ever replicate, each variation adding layers of rarity, history, and hidden value frozen in copper. And some 1982 pennies even acquired accidental proof-like surfaces, mirror shiny, with razor-sharp details, reflecting light in almost supernatural ways, transforming a simple penny into what seems like a miniature artifact of magic. And the D Mint mark from Denver, sometimes doubled or slightly offset, elevates the coin into multi-million-dollar territory. But the real fascination emerges when multiple errors combine on a single coin: double die, off-center strike, faint repunched date, clipped planchet, lamination errors, and even subtle die cracks, all converging in one artifact, creating a coin so rare that only a few exist worldwide, each one a potential life-changing discovery. And this scarcity fuels mind-blowing auction battles, collectors paying tens of millions, bidding aggressively because in the world of numismatics, rarity plus perfection plus provenance equals ultimate treasure. And imagine the psychological thrill, the pulse quickening moment when you spot a ghosted double die, a faint repunched date, or a subtle off-center strike, instantly realizing that this ordinary-looking 1982 penny could be worth more than your entire life savings, and every tiny detail matters, ghosted doubling, micro die cracks, rotational misalignment, proof like mirror surfaces, clipped edges, planchet lamination, and multi-error possibilities, each contributing to extraordinary rarity and value, and when authenticated and graded professionally in mint state MS65 or higher, these coins become untouchable treasures, commanding life-altering prices at auction, and the emotional thrill cannot be overstated, because holding one of these coins is holding history, human imperfection, mechanical marvel, and fortune all in one, and the multi-error possibilities make this hunt addictive, because a single coin could feature double dies, off-center strikes, faint repunched dates, rotated dies, proof-like surfaces, clipped planchets, die cracks, lamination errors, and combinations of all of these, turning an ordinary penny into a living legend, each coin narrating the story of human error, machinery, and decades of hidden possibilities, and auction stories illustrate collectors spending millions, bidding fiercely, fully aware that missing one could mean losing a once-in-a-lifetime fortune, while the coin itself waits quietly, patient, almost teasing the next lucky discoverer, and every jar of pennies, every forgotten drawer, every roll could conceal the next $32 million treasure, transforming a routine hobby into a life-changing adventure, and as you explore this journey, you'll learn to detect ghosted doubling, micro die cracks, subtle off-center strikes, proof-like mirror surfaces, clipped edges, lamination errors, rotated dies, repunched dates, and multi-error combinations, all microscopic anomalies that elevate an ordinary 1982 penny into an extraordinary treasure, and by the end of this epic, your perception of coins will never be the same, because a 1982 penny is not just currency, it is a living riddle, a legend, a mystery, and a potential fortune waiting for someone patient, observant, and curious enough to recognize it, and the suspense, thrill, and financial potential of discovering such coins is unlike anything else, because even the tiniest anomaly, the slightest imperfection, or subtle human mistake can mean millions, a secret hidden for decades, waiting for someone to notice it, and every moment of this narrative is designed to sharpen your eye, ignite curiosity, and guide you through the secrets behind the multi-million-dollar 1982 one-cent penny. So stay glued, visualize every subtle doubling, every micro-error, every proof-like reflection, every hidden treasure, hold your breath for every microscopic detail, and prepare to uncover how ordinary change transforms into extraordinary treasure, human mistakes become hidden fortune. Now imagine, if you will, holding this 1982 penny between your fingers, its copper surface warm from decades of being forgotten, and as you tilt it under the light, every tiny detail comes alive, every shadow and reflection revealing secrets most people never notice. The double die on Lincoln's face seems almost like a ghost whispering history, the subtle micro die cracks creating intricate spiderweb patterns that can only be seen under magnification, and as you trace your eye along the wheat reverse, you begin to notice a slight rotational misalignment, the coin seemingly rotated a fraction of a degree off its intended strike, barely perceptible but instantly significant to a trained collector, and then there's the possibility of a clipped planchet, a tiny missing section along the edge, which might be almost invisible to anyone except those who know what to look for, yet this imperfection alone adds enormous value. And when you combine that with a faint but unmistakable repunched date, the story of this coin becomes almost cinematic. A human mistake frozen in copper, a mechanical quirk captured in time, and a potential fortune hiding in plain sight, quietly waiting for the patient, curious collector to notice it, and think about the psychological thrill this generates. The heartbeat quickens, the adrenaline surges. The mind races as you realize that this ordinary penny could be worth more than most people earn in a lifetime, and the excitement escalates when multiple errors converge in one coin, forming a multi-error masterpiece, where ghosted doubling, off-center strike, rotated die, proof-like mirror surfaces, lamination flaws, clipped edges, faint die cracks, and repunched dates exist together, creating a coin so rare that it becomes virtually priceless, and these multi-era coins drive collectors to the edge of obsession, fueling intense auctions, where bids spiral into millions. Collectors competing not just for money, but for prestige, rarity, and the thrill of discovery, and as the auction gavel falls, the tension and drama of the collector world become almost palpable, because in the world of numismatics, missing a single coin could mean losing a fortune, a piece of history, a living legend, and the 1982 1-cent coin is at the heart of this drama, sitting quietly in jars, drawers, wallets, and old rolls, waiting to reveal its secrets to the observant, patient, and meticulous, and as you continue to examine it, every microscopic anomaly becomes a clue. A ghosted double die along Lincoln's cheek tells you about the minting press's slight misalignment. A faint die crack on the wheat reverse reveals the stress in the dies that struck millions of coins yet only produced a few extraordinary survivors. A proof-like reflection on the surface shows a coin accidentally struck with extra pressure, creating razor-sharp details that seem almost magical. And a subtle planchet lamination or a rotated die whispers secrets of human error, chance, and the unpredictable nature of minting, and the thrill grows when you consider multi-era coins with combinations never repeated, coins that carry a story of luck, skill, patience, and knowledge, waiting for someone willing to search meticulously, examine every jar, every roll, every drawer, every forgotten collection. Because the next $32 million discovery might be sitting unnoticed in an attic, a garage, a coin album, or a dusty box, invisible to everyone except the sharpest eye, and the journey doesn't stop there. Once a coin is discovered, grading becomes a crucial step, as the professional MS-65 or higher grade validates its value, confirming that every microerror, doubling, crack, and rotation is authentic and preserved perfectly, transforming the coin into a legend, a story, and a fortune, and this process itself is a drama, with collectors anxiously waiting for grading results, knowing that a slight difference in grade could mean millions. The suspense almost unbearable, and imagine following auction results where collectors spend tens of millions on these rare pennies, analyzing every detail before bidding, checking every photograph, every magnification image, every past auction history, each bid a calculated risk and each winning coin a testament to knowledge, courage, and patience, and the narrative deepens when you realize that these coins, despite being minted in mass numbers, have survived with combinations of errors so rare that only a handful exist worldwide, and the hunt becomes a detective story, with every anomaly a clue, every microscopic imperfection a potential goldmine, and the stakes are enormous, because uncovering a single multi-error 1982 penny could change the life of a collector forever, turning curiosity into fortune, patience into triumph, and meticulous observation into a legend. And as the story unfolds, you begin to appreciate not only the mechanical and human imperfections but also the historical context, the artistry, and the fascinating psychology of collectors who invest time, money, and passion into uncovering coins that others consider ordinary, and the 1982 1-cent coin, with its potential $32 million value, embodies all of these elements: rarity, human error, chance, mechanical imperfection, grading precision, auction drama, and psychological thrill. While the suspense continues to build as you imagine inspecting each coin under magnification, tracking every subtle doubling, every faint die crack, every proof-like reflection, every clipped edge, every lamination flaw, every rotation, and every repunched date, turning a mundane coin into a living, breathing story frozen in copper, a treasure waiting for the right eye to recognize it, and the excitement only escalates when multi-error coins surface in auctions, collectors bidding tens of millions, the room buzzing with anticipation. Each bid a heartbeat, each victory a testament to curiosity, knowledge, and skill, and the lesson becomes clear. Ordinary coins hold extraordinary secrets, And the 1982 penny is one of the ultimate examples of this, a coin that teaches patience, sharp observation, and the thrill of discovery, while offering the potential for life-changing fortune. And the adventure continues for those willing to search diligently, study microscopic anomalies, understand grading, follow auction trends, and embrace the psychological thrill of knowing that the next $32 million coin could be just around the corner, hidden in plain sight, quietly waiting to be discovered by the collector who is ready to see it, recognize its value, and unlock its legendary fortune. And every second spent studying, analyzing, imagining, and inspecting brings you closer to the hidden mysteries, the thrilling anomalies, and the extraordinary world of the 1982 1-cent coin, a coin that is not just currency, but a living legend, a riddle, a story, and a potential fortune waiting for someone patient, skilled, and curious enough to uncover it.